Thank you very much, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to our permanent new home here in the green heart of England land. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can I just say, it's not so much green as inconvenient.
Why is it inconvenient?
Well, Jeremy, how would you like to tell the ladies and gentlemen why you decided to put our tent precisely here?
It is exactly here because this spot is exactly halfway between May's house and Hammond's house. So there is no squabbling over who had the longest commute.
Yes, but your house is just over there. I could see it. Just there.
I haven't got a house. You may remember you blew it up.
Oh, all right, your backup house.
Yeah, your spare house is just there.
Let's not get bogged down with whose house is the nearest.
It's yours. Definitely yours. Is that your cat?
The point is...
Oh, hang on, Jezza, you've got a parcel. No, I can tell there's a man putting one of those I can't be asked to ring the doorbell cards through the letterbox.
The tent is located here, yes, but this is still very much the Grand Tour. The Globe is still our playground, as you will see from this short clip of what's coming up over the next 11 weeks. Okay, it's time now, and nobody's ever said this on a car show before. Save the world.
Morning, shoppers.
Oh, my giddy aunt. Holy shit.
Here they come.
Oh, here we go again.
Get out of the way, get out of the way, I'm in a race.
I got up this morning too late to go to work.
Extending fuel nozzle.
We are pumping gas!
Have we got to drive up there?
Fire service is now available in your area.
I'm better than him.
Hello.
You're gonna have to work a bit harder, Jaguar!
We've been busy. We have been very busy. Anyway, that is all to come. This, however, is now, and we have an important job to do, an important question to answer. Which is better, the past, the present, or the future? By which I mean, which is better, petrol power, hybrid power, or electrical power?
Now, to do this, we are going to use the Lamborghini Aventador S, which has a petrol engine and is therefore from the pages of ancient history. And that will be driven by our resident Neanderthal. Representing the present day, we have the Honda NSX, which is a modern hybrid, and that obviously will be driven by somebody crisp and contemporary. Me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I shall be driving something from the future, an all-electric supercar from Croatia.
I don't know how that ends.
Yeah. Yeah. And while we're on... And while we are on the subject of me, I decided to take charge of where we would do this test. I'm tired of these two picking places that I don't like or understand, which is why this week the Grand Tour is off to Switzerland.
Well, here it is, the Rimac Concept 1. The world's first electric supercar. We're off. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, no. What a tip. Oh, I'm slightly alarmed. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, dear God. It's amazing. At least it was until they turned up. Listen to that.
Look, everything was better in the past. Christopher Wren was a better architect than those numpties you see on Grand Designs. Bob Seger could belt out a better tune than Justin Bieber. And this Lamborghini is better than Hammond's Lady Shaver. It just is, in every way.
The present is best. Everything in the world now is better than it was a minute ago. And everything in the world now is better than it's going to be in another minute, because we don't know what that is yet. It might be the nuclear holocaust. Humankind can only live in the present, and that's why you need a Honda NSX, okay? Oh my God.
The NSX is by far the cleverest of the three cars here,
because of its dual powertrain. It has the dependability, the availability of fossil fuels, and the magic and helpfulness, if you like, of electricity. It's a hybrid, and it really is rather brilliant.
They probably think this is some sort of Eastern European electric milk float in a supercar suit. Well, they're wrong. Very wrong.
Go, go, go! Oh, God.
Plenty of power, this is good.
Oh, God.
Gotta keep the pressure on. Oh, no.
I know the Rimac is very pretty, I can see that. And I know...
Give me everything you've got. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, my God. Keep going.
Come on, this is it.
I know the Rimac is very pretty, I can see that. And I know it's very...
Oh, for God's sake. Come on, come on, come on. Oh!
I know the Rimac is very pretty, I can see that. And I know it...
Go, go, go!
Come on, keep going.
Oh, my God.
I know the Rimac is very pretty, I can see that. And I know it's very fast. But I also know it can't do this. I know it looks like the three of us are just clowning around in some supercars on a lovely, lovely day on a beautiful bit of road. But this is important work. It is. It is.
dear, oh dear. How clever. Oh, great. Oh, my word. Oh. Yes.
Oh, God. This is dangerous because of you.
Oh, my God. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, my God. What?
And to prove its important work, we decided to pull over and start acting like important car journalists.
You may mock the idea of a Croatian supercar, but Rimac is already working with Koenigsegg and Aston Martin on their battery tech. It's a serious company, so serious that they make nearly every bit of this car themselves. Sat-nav, switchgear, headlamps, all in-house.
Apart from the leather, if you go for that, which is Bulgarian.
Oh, I love Bulgaria.
It's my favourite. But anyway, the reason I like the Aventador most is because it defines the supercar. It wasn't designed to do 1 billion round Brands Hatch. It was designed to do 9 on Knightsbridge. It was designed to make people go, wow, and it does. If you want to go fast, buy a Ferrari.
Or a Rimac.
And that's for shaving your legs, if you're a lady.
I love the Lamborghini as well, the styling especially, it's fantastic, but you know that the sort of time and thought that Lamborghini put into that, Honda put into things that they thought were important, like making a new type of steel section for that pillar so it can be smaller, so you can see out better, 10 radiators to cool the drivetrain, and lots of other stuff that make modern technology simple to use.
I just don't like it.
Well, how is that relevant? I'm talking about it, and I
don't
like it.
I wish-
You're wrong.
I wanted
You're
to like it, but I don't.
You're redundant.
I didn't like. I really wanted to like it. I've been 10 years looking forward to it. I wanted to like it. I got in it. I didn't like it.
But it doesn't matter because I do.
You are
No,
wrong.
I'm not wrong. I do.
Eventually, we stopped arguing and set off. Sadly, however, things took a turn for the worse when we arrived at the hotel that Hammond had booked.
What?
Hammond, what is a wellness retreat?
One of these.
More specifically, hang on, it said Swiss Natural Detox.
Yes.
What is that?
It's handy for where we need to be.
Can we get a drink here?
No.
Are you serious?
Yes?
Do you realise that could result in your death?
Could.
Yes.
Sorry, Will, what are you thinking of? Why?
What? It's convenient, it's near many things
Well,
I
it's
want
the
to be
only
near.
hotel.
Do they do colonic here?
Yes?
Would you like to know what colonic feels like?
The new electric version.
Do they
It's very
really do
modern.
colonic here?
You might feel better for it.
I won't feel better
You'll
for
thank
it.
me for it in a bit.
Would you like a glass of water, James, and some kale?
Oh, yes, that's what I always have for supper.
Over dinner that night, the mood was dark. How long are we here for?
4 days.
4 days?
I've got a lot of things planned.
Yeah, but we're going to starve to death, Hammond.
No, you won't. Listen, what this is tough love. Well, not love for you two, but it's what you need. It's tougher hate than usual is what I'm giving you. I'm taking you in hand and for both of your sakes, turning you around, turning over a new leaf. I actually think James is looking better already. Look at him. Look at a healthy glow.
He isn't looking better, he's looking angrier.
You're going to look a lot worse in a minute. I can guarantee that.
Look at the view. Look at that. Look at that.
You can't eat that.
Our first outing was to a museum in the nearby city of Lucerne.
nervous.
Can I go a bit faster? Oh, good. Oh, keep
Muppet. This is terrible.
That night over dinner, the mood was even darker.
To a museum in the nearby city of Lucerne.
half wit. Hello. Hello. I was very brave. Get off!
Yes.
Hang on. Oh, God, that looks tricky.
dinner, the mood was even darker.
To a museum in the nearby city of Lucerne.
Stop, stop, abort, abort. Oh my God! Go! Oh, I was born to do this! It is mighty! Oh my God! Got in. Thank you. Come on, no, no, no.
That night over dinner, the mood was even darker. And the following day, it didn't improve, because Hammond made us go on exactly the same route as he had the day before. And after Hammond had plugged his car into the same charging point, we went off to look at that day's underwhelming attraction, the Museum of Chess.
Boom! I win!
He doesn't even know how to play, does he? And then the penny dropped.
Hammond, what are we doing tomorrow?
Going to a pencil museum.
Is the Pencil Museum in the same town as this museum?
Yes.
Do you keep bringing us to this town because it's the only one within 100 miles of our wellness centre where there is a fast charging point for your car?
Yes.
So, that night, after another plate of weeds, James and I sacked Hammond as team leader and came up with our own schedule. Right, we found an airfield and now we're going to have a drag race, which is a lot more interesting than going to a museum.
I thought he'd like museums. I mean, he's driving one.
Track, check. Traction, yes.
I put it in launch, which sets the rear two engines in the first of their two gears. The front two engines only have one gear. I do not know how that works. Why doesn't the car stretch or overtake itself?
The simple fact of the matter is that because this car has no electrical gubbins, it is, despite appearances, the lightest car here. And it has 730 horsepower. So allow me, please, to demonstrate that you can't beat old-time rock and roll. Thrust mode.
3, 2, 1. We're off.
That Rimac just off.
If that is the future, I am so ready. Oh! Oh!
I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything move as quickly as that. Not with number plates. Annoyed that my dinosaur had been humiliated, I decided to show Hammond that it still has enough power to kick-start a dying star. Yes! That's what Lamborghinis are all about.
Oh, my word.
Sitrep, the entire tyre has been consumed by the heart of the monster.
It has.
Do you know the thing was? The tyre pressure warning light came on.
What could that have meant?
Well, it meant that on this, it was specifically telling me that there was a problem with this tyre. So I ignored it.
Yes. It's a good job you're not an airline pilot.
Yes. However, we'll get it fixed. And then, actually, we got to find a track. And then I will be able to thrash you. What do you know?
You won't find a track in Switzerland, will you? Because motor racing is banned.
What do you mean banned?
No, it is. 1955, there was an accident in France at Le Mans. The Swiss banned motorsport. It's still banned today.
We can think of something else. Something that requires 4 tyres.
Oh, God, I tell you what, though, it does mean another night in his hotel.
And you're going to drive there on a space saver.
No, I know something we can do.
What?
There's plenty to occupy us at the hotel.
Well,
Come on.
not supper. That
It may take a
occupies you
while
for
because I'm going on a bicycle. Ow!
Jesus! The thing that they banned was that because in the famous Le Mans crash, cars crashed into each other into the ground, but that can't happen in a hill climb, so would they allow stuff against the clock?
I don't know, because I've got a tube up my arse.
Come on, think, Clarkson.
I think you can do hill climbing in Switzerland, but I don't know for sure, because I've got a tube up my arse.
Right. Okay, but that's a start. Let's see if we can find out. Out! Ah!
After a bit of digging around, James discovered there was a Swiss hill climb event on that weekend. And it was only 200 miles from our hotel. Which was fine, for some of us. At this speed, 6 of my 12 cylinders are shut down. They're not using any fuel at all, so I could probably do 400 miles on the fuel I have. Just check on James. James, are you able to make the hill climb event 200 miles away?
Let me just have a look. Yes, I am.
Well, how do you know without fuel gauge?
I can't be bothered.
It's not straight, is it? Admit it.
Happy piling the motorway miles on your precious cars, are you? Good.
Why is there somebody talking to us from a van, James?
It's a lorry.
Hey, Hammond, I don't know where you are, but there's a really remarkable-looking futuristic car on the back of a truck. Must just be a mock-up, I suppose, otherwise it would be being driven.
Yeah, you pile the miles on, enjoy yourself.
After leaving the van driver far behind, James and I arrived at what's almost certainly the most beautiful hill climb event in the world.
What? All good here. Oh, yeah. It's the van driver.
Well, he won't have the energy to drive up the hill.
What?
He won't have the energy to drive up the hill.
Here I am, car rested, ready and fully charged.
Breakfast, actual food, brown food.
Yeah. Well, professional racers do carb load, don't they, before races?
Right,
So you're sort of
like all athletes, carb load.
Yeah,
They don't lettuce load.
As I walked over, I saw you two and thought, athletes.
Shut up, Howard.
With the practice session complete, it was time to go against the clock. And for me, this was a problem. Because the rules said that in timed runs, I had to wear a helmet. No. No. Right, well, I can either drive like this with a helmet on, or... what the hell are we going to do? It was time to break out my genius. Lamborghini's got one of their test drivers here. He's about this big. What's your name?
Giacomo.
Giacomo.
Giacomo is the Italian name.
Giacomo.
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 Whatever. Don't worry, you look exactly like me. I'll tilt that camera down, it'll make you look taller. Be fine with a crash helmet on. Yep. Curly hair, same as me. But you've got to sound like me.
All right.
So, Hammond, you idiot. Say that. Hammond, you idiot.
Hammond, you idiot.
You idiot.
You idiot.
Exactly, because he always is an idiot, so you can always drop that in. It's a useful phrase.
Hammond,
the other one is, this is the fastest car, pause, in the world.
This is fastest car, pause, in the world.
Say it.
This is the fastest car, pause, in the world.
With all that sorted out, James took his place on the start line.
This is the big one. I'm sorry. Oh, it shouldn't feel so good, but it does. Oh, my word. I'm sorry, I didn't say. I'm sorry I didn't say anything. That was my concentrating face. That's the most I've concentrated for 5 years.
Then it was my turn. With an astonishing time on the score sheet, Hammond had it all to do, and we decided to give him some encouragement. Hammond?
Yeah.
Really, really big crowds here today, as you can see.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they know you're going to break the record here.
Well,
54 seconds.
54.
Well, come on, you're at 1,200 horsepower. You've been practicing all morning.
Yeah, actually, it is the most powerful car here by some margin.
Well, I can't promise
Well,
to...
it's the fastest car
win.
I've ever seen. Look at it this way. The whole of Croatia is watching this, knowing that you're going to do it for them.
In 52 seconds' time, you're going to be whatever the equivalent of a hero of the Soviet Union is, but in modern-day Croatia. They'll have a name
not
for
just
it.
Croatia.
But no,
it's the whole
spreading out.
Eastern European region.
Yeah.
You have got a lot riding on your shoulders, Richard Hammond. A
will be-
lot.
You will be on a coin.
Thank you,
Indeed.
guys.
His face will be on a coin.
Or a stamp.
Oh, I'm quite nervous. I'm suddenly nervous. Okay, here we go. Give me your best shot, Rich. Yeah. Watch this. Go, go, go! Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Give me your best shot, Rich. Yeah. Watch this. Watch this.
Come on, keep going. Come on, this is it. Oh, for God's sake.
Okay, here we go. Give me your best shot, Rich. Yeah. Watch this.
Go!
I'm quite nervous. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Give me your best shot, Rich. Yeah. Watch this.
Again.
I'm quite nervous.
Oh, God.
Okay, here we go. Give me your best shot, Rich. Yeah. Watch this. I'm quite nervous.
Right, we're all set. Come on, keep going. Come on, this is it.
Right, I have the times here. Are you ready? Representing the present day. The Honda NSX did it in 1:20.4. Okay? Representing the past, the Lamborghini Aventador did it in 1 minute 10.4. And this is the big one, representing the future. The Rimac did it in 1 minute 14.7.
Yes! I'm the winner! I am victorious!
Wait a minute!
The past!
You weren't even driving the bloody car.
Well, you were driving your car and you crashed it.
Yes, but I crashed after the finishing line, like a professional.
Hammond, when was the last time you went home after work not in an air ambulance?
Now,
When was the last time you took your own clothes off at night rather than have a paramedic cut them off in a field?
Now, hang on a minute.
You crashed after the finishing line, so our cameras weren't there. We had to get that clip from YouTube. That is not professional. That is selfish.
Look, I just don't know how it happened.
We do. We know exactly how it happened. History has taught us you can't drive in a straight line. And now we've seen you can't drive around a corner either.
Do you know what's a really remarkable thing about that crash?
What?
That car continued to catch fire 5 days after it happened.
What? Bursting into...
Yeah, spontaneously bursting into flames. And the reason is the accident damaged one of the cells in the lithium-ion battery. That causes a short circuit, it catches fire. But then that damages the next cell, so that one catches fire. And so it goes on. There are 8,000 cells in that thing.
So it's like a chain reaction. What do they call it?
Yeah, chain reaction. It's called thermal runaways. Bang, 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 and so it goes on.
I was all right. Thank you. I mean, it's relevant. OK.
We don't care in any way. It's time to end the programme with a conclusion to our very thorough test. And it's this. The future is very fast and extremely quiet, but a bit burny. And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!
Honestly, I don't know.
Is that the size of the drop or what's happening?
You're looking at magnificence.
Help! This is bad! James says we've got to stop it. This is not a particularly cultural thing to do.
I don't mind the smell of tire smoke in the evening.
Oi! Get back in!
James! It's falling! Sideways in, Liddy! There's no dignity in that, is there?
No.
Are we ready, gentlemen?
Honestly, I don't know.
Is that the size of the drop or what's happened to it?
You're looking at magnificence.
Help! This is bad! James says we've got to stop for fuel.
I hate you!
He doesn't like us.
Maybe leaking slightly.
What a moron.
Honestly, I don't know.
Is that the size of the drop or what's happening?
You're looking at magnificence.
Help! This is bad! James says we've got to stop the fuel.
I hate you!
He doesn't like us.
Bloody Nora.
Maybe leaking slightly.
What a moron.
You sank my limousine! I've lost one of my nose tampons!
This is not a particularly cultural thing to do.
I don't like the smell of tyre smoke in the evening.
Oi! Get back in! James, it's falling!
Are we ready, gentlemen?
Honestly, I don't know.
Is that the size of the drop or what's happening?
You're looking at magnificence.
Help! This is bad!
James says we've got to stop. When we arrived, mechanics from Porsche and McLaren pounced on our cars, fettling them for what was to come. Soon, the McLaren and the Porsche were ready for some shakedown laps. And for these, we decided we'd drive each other's cars.
Straight away, I can tell you that this doesn't have the brutality or the savagery of the McLaren. Because it has rear-wheel steering and four-wheel drive, it feels granted, it feels secure and safe. And that gives you the confidence to play about. Oh, holes of a man. Oh my God! Right, good. Go, 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 go! It's incredible.
This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I am here because, gentlemen, I have in the back of that lorry something that will make your McLaren and your Porsche look like lumps of yesteryear.
There we go!
Or indeed any sort of thing gave me a fizz like the Ferrari, the Ferrari. This, I believe, will absolutely mince the other two. Oh, man!
James was obviously talking nonsense. But there's no getting around the fact that these three cars take automotive science to a new level. They use the latest green technology to squeeze as much speed as possible from every molecule of fuel. As a result, they're all capable of blasting way past 200 miles an hour whilst producing fewer harmful emissions than a family saloon. What we have here, then, are three incredible machines which, at a stroke, have made the traditional supercar look wooden and old-fashioned. Welcome, everyone, to the Hypercar Holy Trinity.
Oh, bugger!
I'm bored already, actually.
The Hypercar Holy Trinity.
What is wrong with you? Ridiculous again.
Idiotic. Here comes a really dangerous head. Being clever. Thank you, Bagpuss.
Oh, good.
Yes! Oh, it shouldn't feel so good, but it does. Full throttle. Oh, no. Concentrate, look through the bend. This is quite a complicated one. Yes. Dab of brakes. I'm winning.
We could have played out there all day, but are we ready, gentlemen?
Honestly, I don't know.
Is that the size of the drop or what's happening?
I can't drive the Ferrari on the road.
Why?
Well, it's not registered.
It is, got number plates.
No, that's just pretend number plates. If they register it, it becomes second-hand and they have to pay the tax. That's why it came in a lorry.
So you can't drive it on the road either?
Nobody can drive it. It's not road legal yet.
Oh, no.
Mate, that's...
Oh, that is
'cause
such a shame.
It's an hour of...
Oh, sorry, James. That's really a rotten bit of luck, because you've come a long way from Italy. Soon, Richard and I were enjoying the world's best ever commute.
Go, go, go! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh God! Steady now. Right now. Oh no. Oh my God. Thank you very much. Hello. Oh God. You idiot.
for God's sake. Oh my God! Oh no. We're off. Oh my God. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, no. Oh, go, go. Oh, this bit is really scary. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my God. Oh! Go, go, go! Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, for God's sake. Utter nonsense. For God's sake. Oh my God. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my God! Oh, for God's sake! Oh my God! Oh, here we go, here we go. slightly alarmed. Oh my God. Oh, power, this is good. Right, we're all set. Oh, for God. Watch this. Oh my God. Oh God. We're off. This is dangerous because of you. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Oh, for God's sake! Oh my word! This is dangerous because of you. Steady. That is just
God's sake. Oh my God! Oh, for God's sake! Right now. Are you ready? Oh dear God. I shall be victorious. Watch this. Yeah, I've got more. Time to play. Oh no. Oh God. Oh, for
God's sake. We're off. Sorry, sir. Oh, yes! Gotta keep the pressure on. Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh my God. This bit is really scary. Hello, mate. Hello. Come on, come on, come on. Go, go, go! Oh my God! Oh no! Go! Steady there. Oh God!
looking good.
Unleash the beast! Oh, bloody hell. You're all right. You're all right in Italian. Oh, God.
Sorry to have to say this, but that Ferrari is useless.
Yes. Later on in part 2, when these two have stopped dreaming up idiotic and irrelevant tests that it can't take part in, we shall see.
We've got to tell everyone about our track. Yes, we have one.
Honestly, I don't know.
Is that the size of the drop or what's that?
You're looking at magnificent.
Help! This is bad!
James says we've got to stop.
I hate you!
Just like
Bloody Lord.
This is not a particularly cultural thing to do.
I don't like the smell of tyre smoke in the evening. Oi! Get back in!
James, it's fine!
everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, we're back. We are. Now, a lot of people have been saying, why has it taken so long? What have you been doing? Well, hopefully, we can answer that with this short montage of what you can expect over the next 13 weeks.
Is that barrel gonna...
Fire everywhere!
Ah! He's gone! Look! Hang on a minute!
The nearest civilization is a town called Moron. In order to reach it, you must build the contents of these boxes. You have enough food for 7 days.
Oh, God!
Well, it's not such a
serious situation, it would be a good laugh.
There must have been 30 or 40 people in the room when the police arrived.
Clarkson!
Jesus Christ, no, I'm too close to the edge.
Let's sing a song.
No. I am sitting where Jim Clark sat.
Going in hard and hard. We're fleeing!
OK, flee. Well, he'll be using a pistol, won't he?
I think you're going to like this series, and I particularly think you're going to like how it begins, because even over here on this side of the pond, we recognise that Detroit is the spiritual home to anyone whose communion wine is petrol and whose heart beats like a big, lumpy, wet V8. Which is why this week, and it's long overdue, the Grand Tour is off to the Motor City with an idea. Of course, the whole world knows that Detroit is now a shadow of its former self. But we also know that efforts are being made to bring life back to the ruins, with urban farms. Local people are being encouraged to grow kale and beans and seeds in plots like this, where houses and businesses once stood. It breaks your heart. I mean, this is Detroit. It shouldn't be a help-yourself pop-up street allotment for organic vegan peace hippies, when it could be a pulsating playground for the petrol head. It has the roads. It has the space. It was built by the rumble of a V8, and it should rumble to that sound once more. So that's what we've come here to do. Make some noise. These are the toys we'll be using. 3 American muscle cars, all of which have been tuned to a tire-shredding DEFCON 1. I have the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 3. Mr. Slowly has what's called the Exorcist. And in his whining Dodge Challenger Demon, Hammond has an erection.
To make this, they took a Hellcat, I drove one before on the show, and just made it more of everything.
Hellfire. This car is tuned by Hennessy. They've taken a standard Camaro and they've given it 1,000 horsepower. They haven't touched anything else, only the engine. Wheels are standard, brakes are standard, suspension is standard, bodywork is standard. It's all standard except for power. Hellfire. Power. They haven't touched anything else, only the engine. Wheels are standard, brakes are standard, suspension is standard, bodywork is standard. It's all standard except for power. Hellfire. It's idiotic, honestly. But yay! They haven't touched anything else, only the engine. Wheels are standard, brakes are standard, suspension is standard, bodywork is standard. It's all standard except for power. They haven't touched anything else, only the engine. Wheels are standard, brakes are standard, suspension is standard, bodywork is standard. It's all standard except for power. idiotic, honestly. But yeah. They haven't touched anything else, only the engine. Wheels are standard, brakes are standard, suspension is standard, bodywork is standard. It's all standard except for power. This is a hellfire. Idiotic, honestly. And yea, though I walk in the shadow of the valley of death, I will fear no evil, because I am the Exorcist.
This may look small and delicate compared to the other two, but be in no doubt, it has the muscle car credentials. Oh, yeah.
The fact is that the engine in Hammond's car is a push-rod, two-valve iron museum piece. And May's car, yes, it has 1,000 horsepower, but it's running on standard brakes. This is just a little bit cleverer. They haven't just put a supercharger on it and left it at that. They've stiffened up the suspension and lowered it and stiffened the anti-roll bars. So, it can do this. engine in Hammond's car is a push-rod, two-valve iron museum piece. And May's car, yes, it has 1,000 horsepower, but It's running on standard brakes. This is just a little bit cleverer. They haven't just put a supercharger on it and left it at that. They've stiffened up the suspension and lowered it and stiffened the anti-roll bars. So, it can do this. The engine in Hammond's car is a push-rod, two-valve iron museum piece. And May's car, yes, it has 1,000 horsepower, but it's running on standard brakes. This is just a little bit cleverer. They haven't just put a supercharger on it and left it at that. They've stiffened up the suspension and lowered it and stiffened the anti-roll bars. So, it can do this.
Anthony Joshua of muscle cars. Big and brawny, but it has brains as well. Then there's its name. It's the RTR, which stands for, and I'm not making this up, Ready to Rock.
Chaps, did you know mine only comes with one seat as standard?
Really?
What?
As standard, you get one seat in a Demon. You can opt to have the others put back in, and it costs you $1.
Which seat do they put in as standard?
Eventually, we decided to pull over in our motoring theme park to see which of our fairground muscle rides would be the fastest in a street drag race. So, what I'm thinking is, here, when the lights go green, down, what's a quarter of a mile, just beyond the church?
Yeah, something like that.
Perfect.
What if the police come?
Well, he won't, he's in Beverly Hills. I've seen the movie.
Why can't we just do this on a racetrack or a runway like we usually do?
Because we're here to prove that this is a racetrack.
Detroit is empty now and should just be used for this sort of thing.
Yes, but it isn't a real race. It's an actual race.
No, it is.
It is.
This is where the muscle car was born.
I can't do it.
Why can't you do it?
Because Dodge only lent me that car if I promised not to do any drag racing on the road with it.
What?
But it isn't.
That's what it's for.
I know.
It's literally what it's for.
Yes, I know, but that's the way it is. I'm sorry.
Do you think it's an insurance?
It is. It's because it's
No,
him.
it's
because
not.
You don't want it on the roof.
Who's driving it? Richard Hammond.
You can't drive it.
It's just what they said, and I'm really sorry, so we can't do it. I'm sorry.
We can.
Well, you're not going to do it without that.
Let me think. Yeah, we are. Just
Really
right
gonna-
the way. Right the way off.
One for all and all for yourselves. That's how it goes, isn't it?
Aircon is off.
Three, two, one. Yeah, but the launch control of this car is so complicated. There's a YouTube video about it, and I have watched. 3, 2, 1.
Finally, I waved the white flag. And then we took a closer look at the savage beating heart of the Exorcist. And that's a standard Corvette engine, basically.
Z06, yep.
With a supercharger plonked on the top. That's there, yes?
Yes, 2.9 litre supercharger.
So the bit they've bolted to your engine is bigger than most European engines.
Yes.
So's the one on mine. It's 2.7 litres.
Yeah, not as big. The point is, Simon, this is the Exorcist. The job of the Exorcist is to vanquish the demon.
It's like, you remember in the 60s, I think Di Tommaso made a car called the Mangusta, which is Italian for mongoose.
Yes, and a mongoose can kill a cobra, can't it?
That's why they did it.
Yes, but this hasn't vanquished the demon. It hasn't beaten it.
Tell you what, why don't you find a racetrack or a runway somewhere, okay? I'll gracefully bow out, and we can have a race between good and evil. First, though, we decided to find out which of our cars makes the loudest noise. There were, of course, many possible locations for this important test. But eventually, we found one that was absolutely ideal.
Since the owners feared the noise from our engines would bring down the crumbling roof, we were given protective clothing.
We've got to put this on because there may be dust. There will be dust.
Traction off. I'll just make wheel spin. Wheel spin, that just makes a huge amount of noise. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go.
God, that's pretty horrible.
How loud?
Well, at its peak,
Yep.
125.2. Well, wait a minute. You don't know. You're the first to go.
125?
Yes.
The Who, widely regarded to be the loudest rock band of all time.
Yes.
126 decibels. Deep Purple, a mere 117 decibels. That car is louder than Deep Purple.
But probably a lot quieter than my demon.
Any minute now, paramedic will be cutting his trousers off.
You should have taken them off before he got in.
I don't know why he wears trousers.
Here we go, ready in 3, 2. Oh, wait a minute, it hasn't done it. Easy mistake. We've all done it, forgotten the key when you're donutting in a Detroit theatre that's been turned into a multi-storey car park. Everybody's been there.
OK, in 3, 2...
Go!
Oh, 125.2 to beat.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of noise.
118.8, Tiptoe boy.
2.7 litre capacity supercharger on it. It's
yeah, but it doesn't make
well,
any
they didn't
noise.
build it for this. They built it for drag racing, and they wouldn't let me
Oh,
do that.
did they?
So,
Did they?
How do we know?
well, they did. Before this sore point became even sorer, I sent James off to have a go.
Don't think he's ever done a donut
No.
in his life.
No.
We are about to witness James D. May losing his virginity.
Popping his donut cherry.
James May, are you ready? Fire it up in 3... It took him a little while, but eventually he got the hang of it.
What's my score?
Why don't we just go? Come on, James, we've got to go.
Yep, moving on.
What was it?
Oh, I've wiped it.
No, you haven't.
It was 12.
Come on, what was... Why have I got this on my face? What was
It
it?
was 128, so just 2.8 more than me.
So more.
Yes.
Hold that.
Why?
Please just hold that.
Oh, I hate the victory dance. I hate the victory dance.
Good, right, let's
How
move
much
on.
is your car? How much?
98, something like that.
£98,000.
Yes.
40,000.
Yeah, but mine's better, so it's more expensive.
40,000.
Faster and louder.
720 horsepower, £40,000.
Am I the only person here who understands muscle cars?
That's a ridiculous thing to say.
You asked for it. You asked for it. You never got the burgers either.
No, you didn't. We shall pick that up later on.
You may remember in the very first show of the Grand Tour in the first season, I was blown away by McLaren P1.
Yeah, I do remember. You said it would be faster than the Porsche 918 and the Ferrari, And, no, wait a minute. It wasn't, was it? And as a result, the only thing that got blown away was your house.
Yes. That's undoubtedly true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it remains to this day the most exciting, most brutal, most visceral car I've ever driven. And I didn't think it could ever be topped. But McLaren have given it a bash. And I thought, well, if they've built a car that can out P1 a P1, I'd better test it somewhere a bit less narrow and a bit less tree-lined and a bit less covered in deers and badgers than the Ebola-drome. So I took it to the fastest racetrack in Europe, which is, actually, anyone want to guess which it is? No, not Monza. Not Spa.
Do you know?
What?
Do you know?
Thruxton.
Boys.
Thruxton is the fastest racetrack in Europe. So that's where I took the new McLaren.
Hello, fellow driving enthusiasts. James here. Owing to the unique way we make video games, we are sadly unable to have the McLaren Senna in this episode for now. Apologies for that. As a sort of consolation prize, we're going to go back and look at Hammond driving the equally fantastic McLaren 720S from Season 2. It's a cracker, apart from the Hammond bit.
While the outgoing car may have been great to drive, it was never what you'd call beautiful or even very exciting to look at. But its replacement, well, that's a different matter. It's called the 720S, and from any angle and in every detail, it's simply sensational. Right down to the engine bay that glows red when you unlock the doors.
Yep, on the head turnometer, this thing definitely matches the Ferrari 488 and the Lamborghini Huracan. And then when we move on to the business of speed and power, it actually beats them.
To 60 takes just 2.8 seconds. To 60 takes just 2.8 seconds.